Okay, on 4 through 6, you're finding the x and the y-intercepts, which is just where the graph crosses the x and the y-axis. So when you're given a graph, it's pretty easy to pick those out. So on number 4, we're going to figure out where our graph crosses the x and the y-axis. Now the main thing here is to remember which one's the x-axis and which one is the y-axis. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Remember, this one has the little tail, it hangs down, so it goes up and down. All right, so where does it cross the x-axis at? Well, here's 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now remember, we're going to write that as a coordinate, so that's going to be 6, 0. The y-intercept crosses at 1, 2, 3, so we're going to write that as 0, 3. Remember that the x-intercept, since it's on the x-axis, the value is going to be in the x spot, which means 0 will be in the y spot. For the y-intercept, the value, since it's on the y-axis, is going to be in the y spot, and 0 will be in the x spot. Now that information will help you when you get over here to this problem. Now this one's a little bit different than the one you had on the first study guide, because on the first study guide, you had to go carry your pattern off of your table to find either the x or the y. I can't remember which one it was. But for this example, you have both of those right in your table. So you look for the zeros. So here is a 0 and here is a 0. The important part is to know which one is which. This has the value in the x spot, so that is the x-intercept. And by value, I mean non-zero value is what I'm talking about. So for the y-intercept, the non-zero number is in the y spot. So that's going to be 0, -2. Now, if they weren't there in the table, you would just carry your pattern. Like this one's going up by 5, this one's going up by 2, and so we would just carry that pattern until we found the zeros. Okay, on number 6, you have a standard form equation that you're finding the x and the y-intercept for. So to find the x-intercept, we want to cover up the y. So we cover up the y term because we don't want the y value in our problem anymore. And so what we're left with is 2x equals 16. So 2x equals 16. And now it's just a one-step equation. We divide both sides by 2, so x equals 8. And our x value is going to be 8, and then our y value is going to be 0. Now to find the y-intercept, we cover up the x. Make sure you don't cover up that minus sign, because that goes with the 4. So when I write down that, I'm going to have -4y equals 16, because I've covered that up, so that's what I have left. And then I divide both sides by -4. Don't forget about that negative sign. Whatever that coefficient of y is what you write underneath, because that's what you want to equal 1. It has to be the same value. And so 16 divided by -4 is -4. Again, if you need to use your calculator, use it. Okay, if you don't trust what your brain's saying, plug it in or just double check. So your y value is -4, which makes your x value 0.